Okay, let's go ahead and review our picture cards. Echo after me. Octopus, ah. Jar, j. Cat, k. Balloon, b. Dog, d. Goat, g. Equal, e. Fish, f. Inch, I. Overalls, o. Duck, k. Hat, h. Acorn, a. Tent, t. Elephant, e. Lion, ul. Monkey, m. Umbrella, a. Turtle, Shark, sh. Pig, p. Icicle, I. Rabbit, Sun, s. Unicorn, u. Vest, v. Whale, w. Wagon, w. Zebra, z. Nest, n. Fox, x. Feather, v. Thimble, f. Cheese, ch. Kite, k. Anchor, k. Chef, sh. Rose, z. Butter, Apple, a. Bird, Quilt, qu. Star, r. Dollar, Horse, or. Doctor, Yarn, y. Okay, here's our sight words. We're going to go ahead and echo after me. The. Said. Some. Come. Was. Into. To. Of. Have. They. You. From. Where. Together. Today. Something. Are. Love. What. For. That's the number 4. Tomorrow. Do. To. That's the number 2. Could. Don't. Should. There. There. Were. Won't. Would. One. Your. 8. That's the number 8. Who. And that's our last word. All right, let's go ahead and get into our lesson for today. Remember, study your spelling words every day this week. You have some new words. They're getting a little bit harder. We have this word that sticks out for me. That's cactus. Cactus is a little bit tougher to spell. Just make sure you understand how to spell and read these words. Okay? Okay. Let's go ahead, go to your spelling high frequency word list. You're going to cover, we're going to play bingo, so let's go ahead and start. So cover the sight word what. Cover the sight word from. Cover the initial spelling in the word whale. Cover the sight word are. Cover the initial spelling in the word quail. Initial spelling in the word quail. Qua. Cover the sight word said. Cover the medial spelling in the word farm. Medial spelling in the word farm. Cover the sight word says. Cover the medial spelling in the word fern. Medial spelling in the word fern. Cover the sight word were. This is were. Okay? And cover the sight word where. Bingo. We got it right here. So this one's were, this one is where. W-H-E-R-E is where. Turn your pages over. Review words. Number 1, grip. G-R-I-P. Number 2, fish. F-I-S-H. Number 3, for. F-O-R. Okay, your sight words. Number 4, don't. D-O-N''T. Number 5, won't. W-O-N''T. And number 6, your. Y-O-U-R. Let's look at these words. What do these words all have in common? That's right, they all end in the letter S. They all end with the letter S. So what does the S mean when it is added to a word? That's right, it means more than one. So when you have an S added to a word, it means more than one. When the letter S is added to the end of a word, it makes the word plural. Plural means more than one. Does anyone know what the letter S is called? A suffix. The letter S at the end of a word may be a suffix. A suffix is something added to the end of a word that changes the meaning of that word. When we see a suffix on a word, we box it and then make sure there is a root word left. A root word is a simple word that does not have anything added to it, such as a suffix. So I'm going to box each of the S's in each word. After we boxed these suffixes, there was a root word left in each word. Can you tell me what those root words are? That's right, dog, cat, colt, and block. Without the S, these are words, right? So that means those are the root word or base words. Now let's look at another word. Look at the letters that are left after I box the S. Do they form a word you know? So looking at these letters, after I box this S, do they form a word that you know? No, that's right. So the final S is not a suffix. This S is part of the root word pass. Okay? So that S is not a suffix. That is part of that word pass. Let's finish coding these words. So we have a vowel followed by a consonant. We code it with a breathe. Now we can say it dogs, dogs. This vowel is followed by a consonant. We code it with a breathe. This C is followed by an A, so we put a K back. Anytime there is an A, O, or U, or any consonant after the C, you put a K back. That means the C is going to sound like a K. And this word says cats, cats. This vowel is followed by a consonant. We code it with a breathe. This C is followed by an O, so we put a K back. Colts. Colts. Actually, this O is something that we learned yesterday. See our first mistake? We figured this O was followed by a consonant and we breathed it. Well, that is not how this O sounds like. Remember our wild colt words? That's right, this O is followed by an L, so it is going to have the long sound. Now we can say this word, colts, colts, okay? So anytime you're coding, you can try one sound first, but if that sound does not work, like we did just now, then try the other sound that that vowel makes. And then this one, we have CK, digraph CK. Cross out the C because it only makes the K sound. This O is followed by a consonant. We code it with a breathe. Bull, ox, blocks. Okay, very good. Now let's look at some other words. Okay, we have some more suffixes. Each of these words ends with a suffix. There are 3 different suffixes used on these words. Can you tell me which ones they are? That's right, ing, less, and ed. This is my root word, stand. Here is my root word, hat. And here is my root word, land. So after I boxed my suffixes, each word that is left is a word that we understand and we know, okay? That is familiar. So that is your root word. Okay, so do we know what each one of these mean? The ing means something is happening right now. So right now, you're standing. Okay, so happening right now, ing. less, less, means without. So I am hatless. I'm without a hat. I don't have a hat on. And ed, means something has already happened. So if the airplane was landing, it would be landing right now. If the airplane landed, it already landed. That means it's already on the ground. Okay, these 3 suffixes have something in common. They each contain their own vowel, right? Each suffix contains its own vowel. If you remember, a syllable is a word part that contains its own vowel sound. This means that when we add these suffixes to 1-syllable words, we get 2-syllable words because we are adding another vowel sound. Let's try this. Add suffix ing to the word jump. Add suffix ing to the word jump. How many syllables does jumping have? jumping. 2 syllables, right? There are 2 vowels. How many syllables does jumps have? So the word jumps. That's right, only 1 syllable, jumps. So that's right, the suffix s doesn't have its own vowel sound, so it doesn't add a syllable. So suffix s does not have a vowel sound, so it does not add a syllable to the word. Suffix ed is unusual because it has 3 different sounds. So suffix ed has 3 different sounds. It can sound like d, and ed. Suffix ed can only say ed when the last letter of the root word is the letter D or the letter T. Let me show you some examples. Let's box these suffixes. Who can tell me the root word for this word? Belt. What is the last letter of this root word? A T. The last letter of the root word belt is T. This means that suffix ed says ed. How many syllables does belted have? 2. Belted. Where do you think the accent belongs? So right here, here's the accent. Okay, now this word, who can tell me what the root word is here? It is pad. Pad. This part, this is the root word right here. Okay? So what about the extra D? Okay, so the extra D is part of a twin consonant. When we are coding words that contain suffixes and twin consonants, we will go ahead and cross out the second consonant so we can make sure that a root word is really left. So when you're coding words with twin consonants, now I cross out the D because now I know that this is the root word. This is the base word, the root word, okay? How is suffix ed pronounced in this word? It is pronounced ed, right? Okay, so we say this word as padded, padded. Suffix ed will sound like d. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so suffix ed will sound like d or t all the other times. Okay, so unless your root word ends with a T or a D, it's going to sound, if it ends with a T or a D, it's going to sound like ed. It's going to have the short vowel sound. All other times, it will sound like d or t. Okay, let's look at these. Let's box these suffixes. Okay, neither one of these root words, this is the root word and here's the root word, ends with the letter D or T. So these suffixes will be pronounced D or T. How many syllables are in the word filled? Filled, just 1. How many syllables are in the word jumped? Jumped, there's 1. When a suffix ed makes the d or t sound. It doesn't make a vowel sound. So it doesn't add an extra syllable to a word. Okay? So it does not make a vowel sound. It only makes the d sound or the t sound. So it doesn't add a syllable to the word. And then we can code these. This vowels followed by a consonant, filled, filled, and then jumped, jumped. Okay, so only when the root word ends with a D or a T, ED will sound like an ed, okay? Belted, landed, padded, okay? But this is not filled. You don't say filled, you say filled. This is not jumped, you say jumped, okay? So only when the root word ends with a D or a T is when you say ed. All other times you either say the D or the T sound. Okay, now let's go back to our worksheet. New sounds and words, number 7. T. And now we're going to say t, final suffix ed, okay? Because the suffix ed, need a new pen. The suffix ed in the final position will make the t sound. And then d, final ed. D, final ed, because also the ed will make the d sound in the final position of a word. Number 9, jumped. J-U-M-P-E-D. Number 10, going. G-O-I-N-G. And number 11, helpless. H-E-L-P-L-E-S-S. Okay, make sure you practice spelling and reading these words in the high frequency word box. Here is our worksheet for today. We have 4 new suffixes. When we see a suffix, we box it. Our root word is this word. We have a combination AR, R, a digraph CH. Now we can say this word as charms, charms. Suffix ing, digraph sh, vowels followed by a consonant, coded with a breathe, ashing, mashing. Suffix less, vowels followed by a consonant, I code it with a breathe, atlas, hatless. Ed. Combination UR, blurted, blurted. If you noticed, this root word, blurt, ended with a T. So remember when the word ends with a T or a D, it sounds like the ed, blurted, blurted. Suffix S, we have a V, C, C, V pattern, combination ER, division line in between the two consonants. My I is followed by a consonant. I code it with a breathe. This E is with the R, so the R is bossy, making the E sound like We don't do anything else with the E. Sul, it, burrs, slippers. And then our last word, suffix ED, combination UR, earned, turned. If you notice, this letter is not a T or a D, so our ED made the D sound at the end. Turned. Sal's mom and dad will go shopping and get gifts for her. Sal is glad her mom and dad are so kind. What will Sal's mom and dad get for her? Let's go back. So Sal's mom and dad will go shopping and get gifts for her. Sorry, my nose itches. Okay, so what will Sal's mom and dad get for her? Gifts. Who will go shopping? Is Sal going shopping? No, Sal's not going shopping. Mom and dad. Okay, so this was the answer to question 7. This is the answer to question 8. Mom and dad are going shopping. Is Sal glad? Yes or no? Sal is glad. The answer to question 9. Who is kind? Her mom and dad are so kind. Mom and dad are so kind. Answer to question 10. Mom and dad. Okay. On the back, you have your homework side for more practice. Make sure you're able to read everything on this page. If not, get some help and practice reading and answer the questions. Okay. Also, I just wanted to go over, come back over here, and here's our suffixes that we learned. Okay. So suffix S means more than one. It is plural. We have suffix less, means without. Suffix ing means happening now. And suffix ed means already happened. All right, have a great day.